So everybody, we're here at Rhode Island Comic Con, where we have the great artist Rick Leonardi here. As you can tell, he's definitely done some things, especially one very big thing behind me. But first and foremost, Mr. Leonardi, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. Rhode Island Comic Con has been, so far, a lot of fun, which you would know if you were here, so come on down.
True story, everybody. By the time you see this, it probably will be over, so that was your loss. But definitely one of the...
Soften the blow.
Yeah, you tried, Rick. You know, you did a good job. So, Rick, the one thing, I mean, I definitely have to bring up, Spider-Man 2099. I mean, this book that you did with the great Peter David back in the 90s. It was like 1993 or something like that. You guys did 2099, and Miguel O'Hara is still here. He's still kicking. So, what are your thoughts about that?
It's amazing the way things kind of like never really go away. You could talk about Miguel O'Hara sticking around. You could talk about Cloak and Dagger sticking around from the early 80s. Mm-hmm. Even earlier in the 80s, you can talk about Vision Scarlet Witch in Suburban Bliss in a leafy-covered suburb in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Who would have ever thought that would have been TV fodder? But look! So yeah, things in comics never really go away. And Spider-Man 2099 is about to have an enormous, I think, cultural breakthrough. I have here in my hand a press release from Sony, which I can read to you if you want.
Please. Exclusive much? Oh, my.
Yeah, this is it. Straight gouge from Sony Pictures. Here's a quick rundown of what has been officially publicly announced. So the release date is June 2nd, 2023 in theaters. The synopsis: Miles Morales returns for the next chapter of the Oscar-winning Spider-Verse saga, an epic adventure that will transport Brooklyn's full-time friendly neighborhood Spider-Man across the multiverse to join forces with Gwen Stacy and a new team of Spider People to face off with a villain more powerful than anything they've ever encountered. There's the filmmaking crew. Cast officially announced: Oscar Isaac, Shamik Moore, Haley Steinfeld. Everybody's seen the teaser, I guess. Fun facts: in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, we are expanding the experimentation with unique visual styles, building upon the comic book aesthetic developed for the first film, and we will visit six different dimensions and meet upwards of 240 new characters over the course of the next two films. Part 3, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, is set to release on March 29th, 2024 in theaters.
Holy cow.
In other words, we're going to 2099 and we're going to meet Miguel O'Hara for sure.
How do you, seeing Miguel, this isn't the first time we've seen Miguel on different platforms. He's shown up on the animated shows. He's been in video games, but this is the first time that Oscar Isaac, I believe, is Miguel. How do you feel about that choice?
Well, he's a creditable Moon Knight, and he wasn't bad as Leto at Treaties either, although it didn't end well for him. Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting. I don't know how many modifications, or let me put it this way, I don't know what I can say about the modifications between the other appearances of Spider-Man 2099 and what's going to show up in the movie. But I can say the costume isn't a radical departure from the comic book. Okay. The body shape is. This guy is going to be very V-cut, big shoulders. And I think if I had to guess, I would say that that's as much to do with distinguishing him, in a quick glance silhouette situation from Miles Morales. Side by side, they're going to be very different body shapes. So.
Okay, wow. This is very exciting. I'm certainly glad to be going back to Nueva York, as they would say it. So the one other question definitely want to ask is something I brought up to you when I saw you yesterday, is that of all your career, one of my favorites, which I own personally, and I've signed by you and a bunch of the teams, is that you did the Hellboy Painkiller Jane crossover, which is definitely, I think, one of the funnier of Hellboy, which is amusing because you don't really think Hellboy is being funny. where Hellboy and Painkiller Jane are taking on, I believe, some sort of powerful Native American deity, and I believe it was defeated using a Chumbawamba song. So, what was that like working with now the late great Brian Augustin and such?
That was a very interesting. I think Mark Wade had a kind of a toe in that project as well, but this is back when he and Brian were sort of a duo. Yeah, no, it was. I think it was Gitchy Manitou. Something. Somebody opened the wrong little special container in the museum, and as these things are wont to do, it led to mishap and tears. But yeah, the only way to get him back to get this evil spirit back into his container was loud noise, and Chumbawamba was the choice. So.
So everybody, you heard it from Rick Leonardi. If you want to get rid of demons, use Chumbawamba, because yet again, if they get knocked down, we will get up again, and we won't ever keep you down. So, Mr. Leonardi, thank you so much. Whatever you're working on, that looks fantastic.
I realized Rick Astley and Chumbawamba had that much in common.
Indeed. I'm fairly certain that somehow either I crossed the wires or I'm just so goddamn excited. But, Mr. Leonardi, thank you so much. Everybody,
My pleasure.
please support this man. No commission is too expensive. And $20.99's coming, y'all.
Yeah. Wow. Stay tuned, boys. It's going to be cool.